Tribe of the Cotton States Baseball League, and you are watching Max South Sports. I'm Greg Bates. I'm coach of the Tribe of the Cotton States Baseball League. I'm in my 10th season as the head coach of the Tribe. When I first started playing baseball, I was 5 years old. I played for a team called the Tippah Tornadoes, and we were green just like my Tribe team is now. I was raised on a farm back when there was really not much TV. The only baseball we ever saw was Game of the Week with Kirk Gowdy, but my grandfather was a big Cardinals fan, so we'd sit out at night and we'd listen to the radio, and I'd get to listen to the Cardinals, and I just dreamed of being a baseball player. I love the game, love the sport, and just brings back memories, of when I was a child. But those memories have carried on all my life. The way it used to go for me was when I was a child, late in the afternoon, me and my grandfather would be walking back from the barn after putting the tractors up, and he would look at me and say, "Greg, Gibby's pitching tonight, Bob Gibson." So I knew I had to hustle in the house, get my shower, eat, and me and him would go sit outside on the porch and listen to the game when my grandmother watched TV. Listening to the game being called by Harry Carey was actually calling the games when I first started, listening to the former Cubs guy. He was a Cardinal. I could imagine myself being at the game, listening, watching Lou Brock and Joe Haig and Ted Simmons and Ted Sizemore and Bob Gibson. I just used to dream about being a Cardinal and just playing baseball. And here I am, still in the game. The attributes I actually look for in a team is continuity. I mean, I want them to all play together. One man can't win a game for you, two or three can't win a game for you, but when you get them all together playing for the same purpose and playing for love for each other, good things can happen. All right, the attributes of this team, this Tribe team, it's a complex group of guys. Some of them are big name players, some aren't. Some are committed to bigger schools, some aren't even committed, but they all have a role on our team. We've got some heavy hitters, power hitters. We have some guys that are fast. We have guys that just get on base. They do whatever they can do to help our team win. So that, to me, is a lot more fun with the guys coming together. They do this Snapchat thing that they all talk to each other during the week, and it's just helped them gel as a team. They pick each other up, and I love that as a coach. Okay, some of the biggest challenges of this team is, unlike most other teams I've had, is pitching and staying healthy as pitchers. I've had teams before that we had the lowest ERA in the league, and we were strong, and it took over our batting. But this team, we've had a lot of injuries, and we've had pitchers that couldn't show up and play. We've had to ask players that were second basemen, outfielders, to come in and give us some innings. And most of these guys that play college baseball, they were probably one of their better athletes on their high school team and had thrown in pitches, innings before. And so we've been getting a lot of that until our pitchers get back. And it's really helped us a lot, and we're just kind of lucky there, but we don't want to do this every year. Other challenges that we faced this season were hitting, power hitting. When you have one or two guys that come up and that can drive the ball, they don't get to bat every time. You got 7, 8 other guys on the team. It's always when the time comes where you get the runs in and make something happen, it's hard to make happen sometimes, and because some of these guys are freshmen, just coming out of high school. They're facing pitchers that have been pitching in college already for some 2-3 years, and and doing it with a wood bat. It's just kind of hard for them to realize, that how to approach the plate, how to approach pitches, and swing with that wood bat. But it's all after 20 games. We've kind of got it coming together, and we've got guys that started out that couldn't get the ball out of the infield. We're popping them up. Now they're getting base hits, and so that's helped our team a lot. They become more pure baseball players.
I'm Coach Brandon Montgomery.
I'm Coach Andy Dillard.
I'm Coach Greg Bates.
This is Coach Jeff King.
And you're watching Cotton States Baseball on
Max South Sports.
Jeff Cook, head coach, the Hill Country Generals of the Cotton States Wood Bat League, and you
are watching
Max South Sports.
I'm Coach Greg Bates of the Tribe of the Cotton States Baseball League, and you are watching Max South Sports. Last season's team was totally different than this year's team. We were an older team last year. This season, I have a lot of young guys, a lot of guys that are coming out of high school, as compared to a lot of guys that were juniors, sophomores and juniors in college last year. A more mature team. We had a lot more speed last year. We had more power, and it's just totally different. But you go through that every year. This league, some seasons you'll have guys come back. I've had one guy play for me 4 years, but that's very rare. His whole college career come to Mississippi play. But so it's hard to build teams. So every team's different. You have to learn your players, learn what they can do, and try to mold them into a team to where their talents feeds off the other players' talents to create a good environment and a winning team, competitive team. My outlook on this season when it started was honestly not very high. I was used to having players that were older and more seasoned. And when I saw this roster here, I thought, okay, we're gonna be young. We're not gonna have much power. We're gonna be slow, but we just wanna compete. And this team right here has done that. We probably have more uncommits and younger kids on our team than any team in the league, by far. But going into last weekend, we were tied for first. It's not because we're better than everybody. They just all show up and believe in each other, play for each other, and want to play and be successful and try to get scholarships to the next level. And that's kind of what we're about here anyway, is helping these kids, to make them better and maybe get them farther along to the next level. And we've been pretty successful with that. I've placed a lot of kids to schools around here that came out of high school didn't even have an offer. So that's what we're trying to do now. It's not all about winning. Well, yeah, it is kind of, but it's more about helping the players. I get calls from college coaches all the time asking me about players. I've got one that comes into my mind that texts me at 5:30 in the morning asking me about 2 of my players. Thanks a lot, Coach Taylor at Blue Mountain. I didn't answer him back till 9, but I get a lot of those. The W, for example, down in Columbus, Mississippi, they started a baseball program about 5 years ago. They didn't have any players. So they called around and asked some of us coaches, if we could help them funnel them some players, and I did. And one of the players I sent down to them ended up being their assistant head coach. And now he's left and he's a high school head coach. So it kind of works as a circle, with baseball people and the game. This tribe team, we do have some special players on it. Well, I have one player, his name is Pico Townsend. When I first met Pico, he was built like Bo Jackson. He walked up to me, he was big and broad and cut, and I thought, okay, here's a third baseman or a first baseman. And I asked him, son, what position do you play? He said outfield. To myself, I thought, you're gonna get run to death. Boy, was I wrong. This kid right here is probably one of the fastest players in the league. He's leading the league in home runs. He's a defensive, excellent player, and I just heard a few minutes ago that he was named Player of the Week of the Cotton States League. So Pico's a special talent, and I see a lot of good things happening for him. He loves the game. I've got another kid. His name's Josh Bledsoe. Josh is a left-handed pitcher from Auburn, Alabama, and nobody loves the game more than Josh. He is a competitor. He just full of heart out the whole time. He started out his career at Kentucky Wesleyan as a catcher and a closer pitcher. Well, he's transitioned over to a pitcher, starting pitcher, and to see a kid like that just starts a new position this late in the game when you're already in college and succeed at it, that's gratifying to me. I love watching kids that just chase their dream and catch it. I've got a center fielder named Tyrell Burnett. Tyrell is just like dynamite. Dynamite comes in small packages. Well, Tyrell's short in stature. He's got to be one of the fastest players I've ever coached and can play defense. He's our center fielder. He also bats leadoff for us. I've always heard the term spark plug. Well, spark plug, that fits Tyrell to the T. We wouldn't be where we are chasing the championship right now without his leadership and his ability.
I'm Coach Brandon Montgomery.
I'm Coach Andy Dillard.
I'm Coach Greg Bates.
This is Coach Jeff King.
And you're watching Cotton States Baseball on
Max Out Sports.
Jeff Cook, head coach, Hill Country Generals of the Cotton States Woodbat League, and you are watching Max South Sports.
I'm Coach Greg Bates of the Tribe of the Cotton States Baseball League, and you are watching Max South Sports. Our goals for this season is pretty simple. It's just to get better, just to help the players get better, and of course chase that championship. That's always a goal, but that's not the main goal. Just to let the players have fun and learn something, and that'll help them, and maybe want to come back. In the Cotton States Baseball League, we have great facilities here. We have great management. We have a great group of coaches. Field crews are the best in baseball. I've seen it rain here so hard that I've caught fish in shallower water than I've seen in our infield. And then 3 hours later, we're playing and it's not muddy. I mean, this is a great park. And we have a lot of fan support. We have a lot of support from the community. And as you look around today, you'll see we have a big crowd here today. Cotton States baseball to players means competition. Competition. They know that they're going to be playing players. They're striving for the same goal they have. They're already college players or trying to be college players, and they're playing against the best. And you want to perform. But the main thing is too is in performance is you got to have fun doing it. You know, if you're not having fun, then why are you there? My favorite baseball movie is The Natural, Roy Hobbs. My favorite Major League Baseball team is the St. Louis Cardinals because I grew up listening to them with my grandfather. But I love all baseball. I just like to watch, but Cardinals are my favorite.
I'm Coach Brandon Montgomery,
I'm Coach Andy Dillard.
I'm Coach Greg Bates.
This is Coach Jeff King.
and you're watching Cotton States Baseball on
Max South Sports.
Jeff Cook, head coach, Hill Country Generals of the Cotton States Woodbat League, and you are watching Max South Sports.